Greetings everybody, this is Titan, and this is a flag planted on Titan. Now you may wonder, how in the fuck is that flag on Titan? Well, today we are gonna be colonizing the whole of Titan. We will be launching interplanetary spaceships and tons of missions and rockets. This is gonna be one heck of an episode, so buckle up and enjoy. Kicking off with the first launch, we will be launching an engine for the interplanetary space station. It is a very fucking heavy payload. I think the engine weighs about 2,000 tons, so it was a nightmare to even get it to low Earth orbit. But the engine turned out to be very efficient and lasted for the whole duration of the mission, so we didn't even need to refuel it. Well, maybe a couple times, but like it was about 3 to 2%. So I mean, I think I would have done everything without any refueling too. So now we are heading into orbit, and as you can see here, here's the engine. And now we release the engine into space. Now for the other modules, which are gonna be a solar truss, massive fuel tanks, crew compartments, and a docking area for cargo and spaceships. Here we are launching the big ass fuel tanks, the two balls that would theoretically power and give fuel to the engines. In SFS, this is just for looks, like you don't have big ball fuel tanks to power your engines. That would be awesome, but sadly that's not true, and that is why I actually started BP editing in SFS Goals. There's just more opportunities with it, like stock SFS. It's nice, it's cool, but you can't really do deep space missions because you need to build very massive crafts, and those are very laggy. I mean, this one is already laggy, but that's the cost of it looking, well, good. Now we are launching the solar truss, which will power the whole station, and also I attached the crew modules to it too. Finally, we are docking the two modules together. And man, it has been such a while since the last episode. It's like about 3 months or something like that. It's been a while, man. And I only uploaded like 2 months ago. Yeah. And now we are launching a space station which will go in low Titan orbit. So yeah, we've made a station which will carry a station. Yeah, station inception. Now that we have docked the space station modules, we will go ahead and assemble it so it is in its final configuration. Now that we've assembled the whole space station and we've put the cargo on top, we will wait for the transfer window and burn our engines to Titan. The station was quite still heavy, so we had to do 3 separate burns so that we could get out of Earth's sphere of influence. saying goodbye to Earth and looking at it one last time before we embark on a very deep journey far away from it. We will be returning, but it will be quite a time. Alright, so now we are burning retrograde so we can make a stable orbit in Saturn's orbit, so then we can get a trajectory to Titan. As you can see, we've already arrived and trying to circularize around Titan. Alright, and now with a happy orbit that I like, we can deploy the space station and can begin doing science experiments. The crew won't arrive for a couple more years. It is just there so that when the crew arrive to Titan, they can dock into the space station and then start doing research. But some automatic research equipment will start functioning by itself. So now we will get the interplanetary space station back to Earth. Now we're doing the burn to intersect with Earth. Good to be back. Home sweet home, planet Earth. Our blue marble. The station is back in low Earth orbit, so that allows us to launch the Titan colony base modules, the surface-based modules. This is where the crew will live and multiply, perhaps. I don't know. That will be the base of operations in Titan. I have to mention, now that I am BP editing, I can finally make bigger fairings. This has been bothering me so much in SFS. Like, I've been playing also KSP a lot, and the fairings, like how you make them, it's so like fair. I really like the way you make fairings in KSP. I wish SFS didn't have specific sizes, but you could do it like in KSP. But now that I have BP editing, it doesn't really matter. Alright, and now I am launching more base modules for the surface colony. Last time I launched a big fucking ball, and its main purpose was to drain the atmosphere and then make it into rocket fuel somehow. You have to imagine that bullshit. But this is like a crew compartment, science laboratories, everything you need, like growing plants, you got it in there. This is only the first of the modules. There will be another one like this, but in this one there's only one special payload, which is the flag, and also the landing pad. You will see what will be landing on the landing pad. It will be very interesting, and I think you'll like it. You have to like it. You will like it. There is no choice. You will like what is landing on that landing pad. Anyways, the engines are lit once again, and we are doing the second burn to Saturn. After configuring our trajectory, we can then time up ahead and then start a retrograde burn to circularize once again. Now that we're in a stable orbit, I will go ahead and release the payload. So it is connected by only like 2 docking ports, so it will be quite easy. So I just have to undock, and then I will move the base modules and everything with those RCS thrusters and the 4 actually engines. I clipped another set of engines behind those 2 for more efficiency, and I think there's 3 fuel tanks there, so yeah. Now that I undocked, we can go ahead and go away from the interplanetary spaceship. Funny story, I may have forgotten to add staging for the engines behind those. Yeah, but thank God we have engine gimbling so that I can try to move the engines and then tap on the screen right as they move so I can access the ones behind them. It was kind of difficult, but I managed to pull it out because I am pro SFS gamer. I'm scanning for suitable landing areas, as you can see right here, and I found a really good one. And those white dots you see on the surface are actually lakes. I planet edited in some lakes into Titan, so it's more interesting to explore. We are burning so we can land in the area I selected, and now I'll just show a time lapse of me landing. No, not touchdown yet. Kind of hard to control this thing as I was getting really low frame rate. I don't know what it is with SFS, but man, it was so laggy this mission. So I steered it down where I wanted to plant everything, and the first thing I was gonna release was the landing pad. So it will be sitting on the outskirts. There will be 2 of these. One on the left side and one on the right side. Now I will fly over a little bit on that hill and we will plant the flag. It's a custom flag I made. I think it's pretty cool. It has like triangles in the middle symbolizing a rocket, and then CS for Quebec space. I think that's pretty cool. I moved the landing pad over to the right side. I can't remember the direct reason, but now we will be releasing the base modules and docking them all together. The modules didn't have any RCS or any means of like getting around, so I had to do a fuck ton of tomfoolery to get them even together. So you can just see me flinging them onto each other just to make them dock. It was kind of difficult, but yeah. You can see the landing pad is just kind of eroding downwards. Actually, I didn't intend for the landing legs to retract if there's any like ground that it isn't touching, but it just kind of happened to be like that, and I can just retract them, and then it's not looking as weird, so that worked out pretty well. Removing the sky crane, and now the base is done. Well, the first part of it. Now we will launch the second part. It is time to transfer some crew over to Titan, and we will use a space plane for that. Here we go! to the space station, we can go ahead and dock the base module. I skipped over the whole footage of me actually adding these specific parts because you've already seen this. This is all the same, so I just didn't feel like recording it. We are burning our engines for the last time going to Saturn. Having arrived at Titan, I am not wasting too much time, and now you can see the footage of me landing. And this is totally not because I forgot to record anything. What do you mean? I couldn't forget to record about 20 minutes of footage. Like, that doesn't sound like me. And as you can see, I'm approaching the surface very fast with no signs of stopping because the game is too laggy, and I crashed into the surface, but I did have activated no collision damage. But like, it's so unfair, the game was just unplayable. I'm pressing buttons, nothing would work. It was just so laggy, I couldn't do anything. I've deployed the rover, which we will use to drive over to some lakes. Now I am deploying the second landing pad, which is on the left side now. Now it's time for the base modules, which I will dock together. I have to just wiggle my way out. The second one's down. And now the third one we can bring down also. Just kicking the base modules like a ball until we've configured all of them. And there we go, now all of them are docked, and while docking, somehow I think about 2 legs got stuck into the ground. So now I have to move the base awkwardly so that the legs get unstuck, which was kind of weird, but it's an SFS glitch, so oh well. So now that everything is orientated and placed, we can bring the crew to the space station so that some can transfer over to the station and begin doing science experiments and monitoring Titan, and then the other crew will go ahead and land on the surface. Plane is docked, and now the astronauts can go ahead and do what I mentioned before. Now it is actually time to go ahead and time warp to the place where we will start our deorbit burn and land this puppy. Using the RCS thrusters as they have enough thrust to power it. Now we will align ourselves for re-entry. Titan's atmosphere actually isn't that big, so you don't really need too much of a heat shield. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of that cinematic footage, but now we have landed the crew with the space plane onto the landing pad near the colony. So now they can begin doing their little tomfoolery with the science experiments and everything. And we will go ahead and drive over to the lake. Oh gosh, oh Christ, and oops. I blew off accidentally the top part of the rover. That's a shame. That's kind of pissing me off, but oh well. Also, a big shame is that he can't rotate like structures when you're in mission mode, which is also very annoying because like I'm driving backwards. Yeah. And I accidentally drove the rover into the lake and it flipped over. Well, that's a rip for the rover then. Anyways, we have built up the colony and the colonists are already thriving on Titan. I greatly appreciate your time for watching my video. I really enjoyed making this and I really do hope you enjoyed watching it. And I'll see you in the next video.